Welcome one and all to the North American Challengers League presented by Subway. We are here with our final remote day of broadcast, and my God, I couldn't be more excited. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Beatdown Boulevard, the likely candidates for what will be a banger best of 5 between Maryville University and Team Liquid Challengers.
And we have so much has come into this moment, Letta. You said it in your tweet. There's only one ticket left to make it to that grand finals against FlyQuest Challengers. And both of these teams have taken a loss to them, whether it's regular season or earlier in playoffs. So both are very clearly eager to go to LAN, go to the Riot Games Arena, and get a shot at a rematch.
Now, before we get to all the fun and the fanfare of this series, we do also have to give a little bit of kudos to some of the awards we've been giving out recently. And for me, it's been interesting because we got to add All-Pro to the list of our awards, and it feels like we've really been able to shine a better spotlight on a majority of players that maybe didn't get a lot of that spotlight before.
Yeah, I think it's honestly really cool that we got to highlight more players and more often, Lennon. So we always had most valuable prospect, but now we have Rookie of the Split, most improved player. There's just so many more lights we get to shine on players in our league, so I think it's been a great addition.
And speaking of that light, we have seen the third, we've seen the second. Let's go ahead and cue it up. Our first team, All-Pro for Spring Split.
Well, it's been a great start to the awards season, but let's stop beating around the bush, shall we?
Well, announcing our winners, your first team All-Pro, they are sacrificing his life, but it now trades into more, and Surdy goes for a rampage. He wants more. He's got that ghost pop that he sees. Oh, no! This is literally deja vu! Not again! What the hell have they been feeding Surdy at FlyQuest? Because I gotta get on that meal plan. He is a monster. He is a demon, and he has a quadra kill against Mirage. Oh, I thought he was gonna try to predict that one. He goes with a heartbreaker there. Chad has no hope. That is it. Huge. He gets the kill, and now he's on to Lens too. He's throwing a little hand now, and this is that conversation. The man is just pushing the limits of NACF.
I think Shaden will have a chance to the steal. He's got Flash. He flashed into the paint.
He gets it.
You Smitey got it! Shaden with the quad with a shuffle gets the double kill for himself. Says I'll even take Manui as an extra little treat.
As he jumps in, the shuffle comes in from Spyrax. Has the flash back over the wall. TLC are on retreat. Over comes Scary Jerry with the double kill, and Maryville University are back in it.
Surdy will just catch out Perry in the brush. Now the teleport comes through. Perry trying to survive as long as he can. Flashes away. That Bard ultimate.
Oh, they got Young!
Oh, he gets hooked back. Chive, American Sniper.
Oh.
Shut down to quad, and all of the gold for DSG is taken out of the fight instantly. It's all Young. Young is DSG right now, and without the Akali, that dragon is almost guaranteed a FlyQuest Challenger.
Congratulations to our first team All-Pro. What an award to give away, but also what a slew of players. My God, that team would do some damage in the LCS, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. And it's pretty funny to see how many players from FlyQuest made it on that list. It really just is that cherry on top of such a dominant regular season.
Hey, there's two Maryville guys in there. All right,
That's true.
Represent.
That's true, but 3 out of 5, that's still a majority. It's just simple math. And it really shows, too. I mean, they're the team that made it first to finals. They're the ones sitting pretty watching, kind of waiting in the ivory tower to see who their opponent is going to be when we get to LAN next week.
Yeah, it was really contentious for the All-Pro. I know we had votes kind of all over the place. I think there were a few that were set in stone. I know Surdy and you
that was
were at
easy.
the top of a lot of ours as well. But congratulations to the 5. Obviously, it's a new award, but it's nonetheless a little bit prestigious for us because it shows that you guys have been the best of the regular season in a developmental league that requires a lot of that. So I want to go ahead and turn our attention to what we have in front of us after giving away those awards, after all that audience cheer, which was incredible, by the way. Let's go ahead and bring up the playoff bracket here and see a little bit of the road that we've gone down so far. It's been a little bit of a long one, but we have our would-be champions waiting in the wings while they await their opponent in TLC and MU.
And we're almost at the end of that road, Lennon. Like we were saying, there's one match today before finals come through, and it's Maryville. You could take a look at the beginning of that lower bracket. They have one step away from running the entire lower bracket. All they have to do now is beat TLC, and we had mentioned this when they lost earlier on to DSG. We're like, that is really unfortunate for everyone else who has to play against them.
It's a heck of a run. They shouldn't have been there in the first place, but definitely happy to have been making the run so far. You also have to expect, a lot of pressure goes into it because, as we saw yesterday, not only are MU playing back-to-back games, they had to go full 5 games in a fearless draft system where it literally picks apart your brain on how you draft. And with how many unique jungle styles we have in our league and different play styles, it has been incredible to watch how Fearless has completely taken over our playoffs.
Yeah, it really has. And it's been interesting, too, because I'm pretty sure, just looking at it, all of our games, except for Maryville Supernova, went the distance. And it's been really exciting to see, even in the best-of-3 format, those champion pools getting tested a little bit. And finally, yesterday, we got our first taste of walking into a draft with 20 champions
being banned.
That's right, on top of the 5 that your opponent's going to take away from you.
It's like over a quarter of the champions that are available in League of Legends. Because in the end, right, it's 25 on each side banned, so 50 champions still. Holy
Something
cow,
like that,
that's crazy. But if you want to see some more of that craziness, you know where you can catch it. We only have one more remote series, but our last series, it's going to be at the Riot Games Arena, and you want to be there. $5 is all you need to get in. So make sure you grab a ticket. Make sure you get those butts in seats, as a wise man once said.
And let's be real, guys. You're going to be there for LCS weekend anyway. What is one extra day? We're going to be on Monday,
Travel's
April 1st.
better on Monday or Tuesday
Exactly.
anyways.
We're doing you a favor. You're welcome.
You're welcome. It's just a little something we wanted to give you here.
You,
make sure
fans.
you grab those tickets, though. Let's get those seats filled, and let's make sure these players feel that energy from everybody in the room. Now let's move on to our upcoming matches. A fateful meeting between Team Liquid Challengers and Maryville University. Team Liquid on the cusp of trying to return to greatness after not knowing so since 2022 when they went back-to-back champions. MU, a first time for a collegiate representative to be this high in the bracket, and here they are one step away from finals.
And at TLC, it's been a tough split for them, at least during that first half. They were really able to turn things around, and now they look like one of the strongest teams we have left in playoffs. And Maryville, of course, you said it, everything they have done these last couple rounds of playoffs and every step forward they take from today on is new ground for a collegiate roster here in the North American Tier 2 scene. So it's amazing to see how far this program has come for Maryville University.
And we'll take a look at that Maryville roster now. They grabbed some of the best pieces that were represented from FlyQuest themselves last split. Yuji and Spyrax have made a storm of Maryville University, but it really has been a level up in growth from Scary Jerry and Zyko that I have loved to see.
Yeah, it has been. We got to give credit to Yuji and Spyrax influencing this roster, but this bot lane, they have turned up so much. Last year, they were at the bottom of the standings. It's easy to say now because of how much they've improved, but we really didn't expect much from them going into this year. And they shattered our expectations. Scary Jerry even making it, actually both of them, getting that shout in All-Pro. Zyko, of course, being number 3.
Yeah, I think he himself has maybe been the unsung hero, but I know when talking to him, he has felt a lot more confident in his decision-making. He no longer has to ask questions. He can just make the decisions, and that's what I'm going to be looking for today. Again, this squad has been playing back-to-back, and they're going to have to find a way to get some grit out of themselves here for this one. But we got to look on the other side. A team that has shown, I feel like, the utmost grit. A team that nobody expected to be here. Team Liquid Honda Challengers. They have turned it up in playoffs.
There were certainly some growing pains at the beginning of the split, Lennon. But it's as you say, even in the back half of the split, they have started to look so much better. I talked to Keel both at the beginning and at the end of this split on what it's been like to play with Roamer. Early on, it was an adjustment. Fresh out of LCK Challengers, a player in the mid lane where, being able to communicate, being able to plan is so important. Roamer is integrated well. Keel even insists when I talked to him this morning that he's the best mid laner in Challengers League. He fully believes that.
And it was not a loss that maybe came the way you expected it for Team Liquid Challengers. They were able to strike down FlyQuest. They actually had a lot of those games in their hands. And so I think in this situation, they want to definitely get their head on a swivel, be ready to go for this one as we head into draft for game number 1 of this best of 5. Team Liquid Challengers will be on the blue side for game 1, MU on the red. This is where it all comes down to, Beat.
Right, we're going to see who's going to be able to strike first in this series. Remember, guys, this is your last life. Both of these teams, they've made it very far. If you lose, you will hold on to that bronze medal, 3rd place placement. But that's what they really want, Lennon, is top 2. They want to make it to LAN at the Riot Games Arena next Monday, and that's what they're playing for here.
How much is it to get there?
I'm so glad you asked, Lennon. It's only $5. Literally $5.
I could do that. That's easy. Oh my goodness, $5.
I probably have that.
I'm going right now. Anyways, we know what's on the line for these teams. Let's get into the draft. It is the Talia, the Poppy, and the Lucian banned by Team Liquid Challengers on the blue side. We also had that Rumble and the Ashe ban so far from Maryville. I wonder if they're going to let through the Callista here.
That will be interesting. Spawn is very comfortable on that one. I want to give that quick shout out to the Lucian ban too. I think it just kind of highlights our point that Scary Jerry is getting a lot of that respect. You don't see this champion banned very often, but I think Scary Jerry and Zyko have been really tearing up that Lucian Nami, so props to them.
There's that Callista for Spawn. And I think something we've seen teams really focus on against MU is they know either they need to take pressure away from bot lane or they need to fight fire with fire. And right now, Team Liquid's game 1 answer is to fight fire with fire in that 2v2 bot lane.
And we're going to see the Varus insta-lock come through. I'm wondering if the Renata takeaway is going to come out there for Zyko, just to deny a really strong pairing from Spawn and Kim down. Honestly, we've seen Lulu pop up a lot lately, too. If this was going to be the on-hit Varus variant, it might be an okay look, but we could just see Maryville pick another lane as well, and it's going to end up being the Renekton.
The Varus is a pick that TSG did not want Scary Jerry to have at all, or Fear even, really, for that matter, in their series. So very interested that Team Liquid are okay giving that one through. We'll see what Jerry can do on that one. The Renekton, though, has been first pickable across major regions, and it'll be a second pickup for Maryville.
It's a very strong champion. I think it really goes to actually how Maryville try to play around UG. They get Prio in as many lanes as they can, and it allows him to really generate leads, be aggressive, go for these invades, and set enemy junglers behind, something he did really well in an earlier series in this very playoffs.
Now this is a Keel classic, as we get the volley bear here. It's not the Nunu, but it's close.
It could be
like.
volley
Still
top.
furry, still an animal. Could be volley top, but the Renata is a classic lock-in with the Callista.
Yeah, that one's going to be a no-brainer if it's available, so Kim down, very happy to grab that one for himself. So now I'm expecting a jungle pick coming through here from UG, maybe a support if they want, if they have a particular pairing that they're looking for. And I imagine that it's probably just going to be something strong in the jungle. Otherwise, TLC could look to pinch that pool further. Okay, so it is the Lulu.
They were just making sure they couldn't get that pool pinched a little bit more, and they need something that can sustain in the lane, too, against this. So I actually like this pickup. It does not give you as much engage as maybe Maryville typically like to have through the bot lane, but we'll see if they can grab that somewhere else, especially through UG, who I want to focus on a little bit more because he's been a bit of the Swiss Army knife for Maryville University. Not only can he carry the game on Viegos and Graves and murder people, he can also play towards Scary Jerry, which we see them play towards a lot.
100%. Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, champs that I'm already kind of looking at in this looking at in this game for UG, because I think it's setting up for it pretty nicely, are something that I think he could do very well on in this game. They're already respecting the Kindred. It's going to be banned away immediately, and I think it makes sense too with TLC's comp looking for this all-in. You want to remove that extra safety net that the Lamb's Respite would have offered. And
UG just seemingly gets really lucky with marks. I don't know what this guy is. Praise our Jesus, but we'll see Oriana, though, as that ban. And the Ivern, so some respect given back towards Keel.
Yeah, I think that is also really good recognition that Jenkins is almost like, is pretty likely going to be playing that volley bear on the top lane. It is a good matchup into the Renekton, and could throw a wrench in Maryville's early game plan.
I like that call out a lot. Now, Team Liquid, with the final ban of this second phase, will probably be looking towards that jungle a little bit more. You just have so many options, and they'll go with the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, I really like that one, especially with the Lulu in tow, giving him that extra survivability. The CC if you give him the wild growth, so it's going to be another pick. I kind of like the Vi angle here. Could end up seeing the Jax as well. A good amount of auto attackers on the side of TLC.
I do. This is what I was kind of looking for Maryville on the other side, because something that I've noticed of them is they really need engage tools, right? They want to find a lot of success, because those decisions we were talking about for Zyko come a lot less frequent if you don't have the go buttons. The Rel going to provide that a little bit here.
Yeah, so there is going to be, that is going to be for Yuji. You called it out, Swiss Army knife. This is definitely a style he's going to be very capable and competent on. And you're giving Spyrax that last pick in the mid lane, since that one is up in the air for Roamer, who's been playing really well, especially in playoffs. Makes a lot of sense.
And Keel's been very vocal, as you said earlier,
That's
about
right.
his love of Roamer. But these two guys playing together will be the pivotal setup for Team Liquid Challengers into Maryville University, because we've seen Maryville are very good at getting leads early, but they do stumble in the mid game, the late game, those decision making. So if you can get up under them in the early game, it becomes a lot more difficult for them to find their comfort role. Now the Corki is going to come through for Roamer.
I kind of like this one. It gives you some range, some poke, and also you have some really great team fight tools when you get the package available. That's really what this pick is screaming to me, that you are going to be looking for these big team fights, especially around objectives like the Dragon, in hopes that you can stack towards the Soul. And okay, Spyrax going for something late dominant. He's going to lock it in.
A Jalal classic. I love it here. By the way, Spyrax's name is Jalal. I can call him that because we're good friends.
You just know players like
I
that?
just had to go with the copy pasta, you know?
Yeah.
But no, this is a pick that I know he takes out when he feels confident in a matchup, when he really wants to assert dominance. And against a Corki, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and it's really nice when it's paired with that Rel in the jungle, because you talked about needing that engage coming through. Yone, I think, will be really nice secondary engage. You get a big combo with the Magnet Storm Fate Steeled, and you're going to rip a team fight to shreds.
Yep, and it's going to be a lot of seeing how Spawn can hop his way around these fights a lot of the time, but that begs the question of how does Team Liquid bridge the gap of this early game into the late game so that Corki can come online?
Yeah, a big part of it is definitely going to be that bot lane. You do still have some good combat power, even though the Lulu is going to neutralize a lot of that. And I'm kind of looking at this top side as well, because Keel and Jenkins have a real advantage they can play for to get early leads.
Well, we see Spawn's going to play a little safe with the cleanse here, rightfully so, but we're getting into game number 1 of this best of 5. Let's see who you got. Is it going to be Team Liquid Challengers or Maryville University going 1-0 up?
Remember, guys, winner goes to finals. The loser has their spring split end here and now. Of course, top 3. Nothing to be ashamed about, but of course these players are hungry, they're competitive led, and they want to go even further.
They're actually looking for a little level 1 here. They actually fight Scary Jerry too. I'm going to give him
it's the warning
little
shot.
Beating to the back.
Yeah.
He'll have a little bit of damage done going into the lane. Should be able to get the back off.
He'll be fine. Just moving his 5, trying to get some early vision. I really like that look there from TLC. Just to give an idea of where Yuji is going to start, and whether or not Jenkins is going to be in trouble on that top side after he reaches level 3 or 4. Because remember, Jenkins, he's taking Ghost, not taking the Flash. That doesn't mean these early levels. We could see a little bit of a punish there from Maryville.
I think Maryville in this situation, definitely okay to be going even through the early parts of the game. I think having a lead is good, and we've seen them do that before, but I think this is a little bit of a different version of a comp Maryville has played before.
And now we have junglers starting on the same sides of the map, so Keel and Yuji will meet each other on that bottom side. Both these junglers have tools to be able to impact these lanes in the early game. Keel is a player who we know has been really good at this, while also being very proficient on those carry-style junglers. So now that we're seeing the Lee Sin, which I wouldn't really say is a classic Keel champion, he has that opportunity to leverage the strong bot lane he has, and even try to make some plays mid lane if he wants to get some help for Roamer.
And you got to start thinking about Fearless as well. I know we're just in game number 1, but like you're getting a pick that's maybe not the biggest priority for him. It's the first time he's played it in the playoffs, at least, and it's something where now you can look at all those other flexible picks that he has later on and see where he can go with that. But as we get into it, these two junglers are a big spotlight for us. Keel himself having made literal tidal waves on Wildcard and past, but now coming over to Team Liquid and being, I feel like, a rock for this team. In a way.
100%. I was really excited for Keel to get that opportunity. Last split, I voted him second for MVP. He's a player who I have a lot of respect and appreciation for, so I'm glad he got into an LCS org. And the fact that things are really we're starting to look up for this team after the first half of the split is really starting to speak to that potential. Remember, guys, at the beginning of the split, we had FlyQuest TLC, top 2 teams, easy. We all agreed on it, so it was surprising to see TLC fumble the way they did in the early parts of the split.
It truly was. It was a bit of an enigma, as I think Keel has always had just a really good mindset on how to approach the game, even if maybe having to flex his playstyle a little bit more. So it's been really cool to kind of see him lean into his own playstyle with Roamer, who they were very vocal on, like,
yes,
we want to play carries. One of us is going to be carrying in any of these games.
Yeah, right. That's right. That was like part of the problem, too, in the early parts of the split. And it is with any team, having different opinions about how you want to play out the game. And it's been very clear that they have gotten on the same page, which has done wonders for them so far in spring.
Well, who else is on the same page? Maryville University and UG. This guy has been insane, and he's about to get the better of Keel here on the initial, but Spyrack about to get the better of himself over Roamer. He is able to make it out alive. Meanwhile, Zyko and Scary Jerry, they're losing the 2v2 down here. Q goes a little bit wide.
Wow, almost all sums taken out of the picture there, too. Scary Jerry is flashless. Easy opportunity for Keel.
UG does not have the skirmishing power early here. Spyrax does have the Q, though. We can get a little knock-up damage here. Roamer's going to come across with the Valkyrie.
I like that pressure. Spyrax is low. There's a wave under his turret. Keel's going to be able to just get a ward down and go back to farming there. He's actually going to get a double crab as well, giving him a little bit of an early lead there against UG. Might be pretty nice for his first buy when he backs.
At least being able to get something going. I do like some of the pressure that Team Liquid Challengers are playing around bot side, because we got to think about objectives coming up.
Yep.
And right now, at least seeing UG redeploy on the top side of the map, I really like Rel and the Grubbies. They make a good combo. We'll see if Team Liquid want to stop that.
And that one is going to be a little tough. Now Niles is a wave that he is pushing, but you can see that priority. Keel's going back to his top side. He has camps up, and Niles is trying to get this wave in as quick as he can. The hope here is that he'll be able to help UG if he wants to go for these grubs. But I'm not sure if they actually want to go for it, just because Jenkins, he's getting really close to that level 6. This Volibear can do wonders when he has that ultimate available, and this recall tells me they're not actually going for it.
So we'll start seeing the standoff here. The Scuttle had already gotten taken by Keel, but I don't think that's going to stop UG all that much. He is going to look for a little bit of shenaniganery over here as he crashes down over the wall. There is a fight in mid lane that could detail a little bit more how this priority is gained. Ooh, that was a close one by Spyrax, but now he's losing the fight after that Fade Sealed goes a little bit wide. They do end up getting UG out of the back of the pit.
Yeah, and Keel, that double crab. Oh, wait a second.
It was also Keel who got the first one. Now UG just crashes in.
Flash.
He's just trying to get over to Niles. The CC is enough. Spyrax going to cut him down. And first blood to Maryville. You're about to get a second, too. Those swords cut deep, but the Crocodile can't do it.
It's a great look there from Maryville. Niles got that wave shoved in. He had the pressure to be able to move, and now, wow, he is not giving up.
This is prep. This is good prep. He knows
they
that Roamer wants to get it back there, and he gets it with a thumbs up.
I mean, that's just a huge roam for Niles. You get 2 kills off the back of that on a play that TLC wanted. I mean, look at this let-in. I didn't think that Maryville would actually try and go for the grubs, but you can see they're on it. Keel is a level up because of that double crab. It made the difference there, and he's able to get that pressure off. But look at the minimap. You can see Niles is trading really hard. He's trying to make sure that wave gets in so Jenkins isn't able to join. And at this point, I think this is where the mistake starts. You shouldn't go in anymore once you get the call that Niles is on the way.
And I think Yuji is sitting there saying, teammates take the wheel. I'm just going to crash down and hope I live. He ends up living, which is actually insanity. But now, round 2, fight. Team Liquid right in front of the Dragon Pit here. They're trying to take another objective. We're trying to take one. It's going to be Yuji that makes the difference here. And now Scary Jerry's starting to ramp up here. Team Liquid are losing their health bars. They get the nice little bailout. Spawn gets a big kill over on a Spyrax. And now Maryville are on their back foot as Scary Jerry walked all the way around the Death Ward.
Wow, he was still ghosting, tried to close the gap, but they're going to walk it away. TLC, they get 2 of their own, even though they weren't actually able to secure the Drake in the end. It feels a little bad, but still, you're going to take that gold that you got in your pocket. And, watch this one again. It's just a great handshake onto Zyko. getting you that first kill. And then at this point, it was just so hard for Maryville to secure any others.
Very, very difficult. The fact that Yuji got that objective as well, actually insane. So some objective control going their way. We still had the Grubs kind of not, or I guess left to their own devices up there on the top side of the map. But Maryville are able to strike away a couple things, still down from Team Liquid. And it's going to be a very contested mid-game we're coming into. Yeah,
the Drake stacking is going to be an important subject just because, again, how valuable the Corki package is going to be for these fights. Oh, hold on.
Down just really wanted to do some damage to Zyko, you know?
A little supportal
definitely
combat.
Did not know there was a war there until...
no, of course not. He's probably like, oh, you know what?
Whoops.
They saw me, didn't they? It happens to the best of us, Lennon. It's okay.
Hey, I'm here for supportal combat between these two guys. I feel like Kim Down was our most improved player all of last year, and I feel like Zyko might be in the running this year as he's been incredible.
Yeah, he really has been. You got to give some credit to him for how well he's been playing. We talk a lot about Scary Jerry, but I think Zyko has also had some really great looks so far this year. Oh.
Keel. Oh, no. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, he's dodging out. Oh, my God. Keel's a masterclass right now. He's literally dodging out of everything. He does not get away from a Niles. That was a very hungry Croc. And a 4th kill goes to Maryville.
He made it exciting, but he falls in the end. And that's going to be a 2-0 for the Croc. And Jenkins just hasn't been able to do very much in this early game. It's always Niles who's moving for these topside skirmishes. It's always Niles who's willing to take these risks, sacrifice for the good of his team, and that's what he does for this team. And that's why he's the kind of player, he will TP level 4 to bot lane to help secure a play for his team.
He has had a serious glow up, right? And I think he's been around for a long while. Everybody knows his name even from his time in pro, but he really has stepped up, not only in game, but out of game for this Maryville roster. And I think it's been impressive of him to kind of take that role under his belt after coaching last year as well this team.
Yeah, and he's still technically taking that role now as well. That's why they call him the leader. He even said in his interview yesterday after they won that after 30 minutes, just listen to my voice. And that's just...
Easy as that, man. You know?
It's that simple.
They also have to listen to his voice when he tells them to do their homework and do tests and stuff a lot. He was talking about that the other day, too. But,
that's pretty funny.
Maryville University flexing on NACL, meanwhile also in Collegiate. I think that's another interesting and important story to highlight, as it's been a really cool way to see Collegiate be a part of our league.
Right, I mean, Maryville were the first team already to make it to NACL when they qualified last year, right? And now they're making that history again by getting this far in playoffs. They win the series again, first collegiate team to make NACL finals. This roster, with the addition, Spyrax, Yuji, they've been able to do so much on top of the spot lane's improvement this year. And only getting 1 loss in that regular split. Again, it was against FlyQuest, the team waiting for the winner of the series in the finals.
And that's what I want to highlight a little bit more. This means a lot to all these players. Not only get to be in person, not only get to see all your teammates' faces in person. Maybe Maryville, that's already the case, for the most part at least. But Team Liquid Challengers, maybe not so much. But I highlight on something Zyko told me before the series going into it. It's something that is resonating for a lot of these members, not only just for MU, but the last time they went to LA, Zyko's family got to see him lose, and that's not a way that you want to go down, right? And that was for CLOL finals. I think a redemption arc for not only him, but a lot of these players is in stow. If you can make it to that finals, if you can have a good performance there in front of your peers, in front of your family, in front of your friends.
Yeah, what a good look that would be for Maryville if they're able to make this one happen. This game 1, very tightly contested. You're seeing Roamer now TP with the package. This is what we were talking about before, Lennon. The ability to have such a big impact on Dragon fights. I think you can tell that Maryville know this too. They're just going to go ahead and back up, it looks like, and not actually fight for this.
That package secures the objective for Team Liquid. Easy does it. The TP out mid lane too, so Spyrax should be able to join as well. Taking a little bit longer than maybe they wanted to, but Yuji's just here to hover. Dragon will go down.
Yeah, and you're okay letting this go as Maryville. That's why... Oh, hold on.
Oh. Yuji gonna have to flash. That means Team Liquid are flashing as well. He is tanky, but not tanky enough. He's under tower, though. Keel's taking some tower shots there.
That's fine.
Able to dodge out of that hostile takeover. Team Liquid strike. Now they might look for more. Oh, Scary Jerry! He's turning it around, but he'll get a ring to the back. And now Psycho not gonna join him after he flashes.
A dragon and a scrap. How about that, Lennon? It ends up being a close call, but ultimately TLC happy that they're able to get this pressure onto Scary Jerry. Look at the bot lane and what he's going to lose on top of it. All that golden experience as Jenkins is happily going to come mid to make sure that he is able to pick up the wave that Roamer ended up leaving.
Spyrax hunting. He wants Spawn. There it is.
Nice
He's going to
try.
find everything, and your fate has been sealed, Spawn.
That's a nice response coming through from Spyrax to help even things out a little bit. We're going to see the replay again. This dragon was theirs. Maybe the expectation from Maryville was that they weren't actually going to commit like this. And the package is about to expire. They say, Yuji, what are you doing here, bro? And it ends up being a pretty easy kill that comes through. It was a nice try to stop it, but Scary Jerry also gets punished for trying to equalize.
Yeah, I do appreciate that, right? But, yeah, I think the biggest aspect is that Roamer was able to get a little bit of something. Yes, Zyko gets out there, but Team Liquid gets so much pressure that they did not have before.
I will say the thing that's nice for Maryville is the fact that they were able to get to that first break. Because we talked about scaling and how we feel like this team is looking in that mid to late game. And with that Varus Lulu, with this Yone that can really sync up well with this Rel, it looks pretty good for them. So being able to make sure TLC can't just package their way to a soul before MU gets online is what really matters here. So it's okay that they let go of that first break. I think that's a bright spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is something I always highlight for Team Liquid now after we've seen them kind of show up in the playoffs is they are tenacious. I think Keel and Roamer getting off to a good start is always important, but they've also been able to carve out leads out of seemingly nothing. And right now, Roamer and Keel are the biggest spotlight for Team Liquid if they want to hold their heads above water.
Yeah, it's looking like the spotlight is this Rift Herald. As you can see, top laners sent towards the bottom lane. I say that, but Niles doing what he does. He's hovering near his team to see if there's a play available, but he's going to have to go and answer that wave eventually. It will be TLC getting the first touch on this Herald.
They do have vision on this for Maryville University. They can bring up 2 members from mid, but Team Liquid Challengers are here in presence first.
Oh, yes.
They're going to wrap around the corner. Spyrax might be caught out over here, though, as they're going to TP Niles in. He has Dominus already popped. Maryville move in. They don't secure the Rift Herald as Yuji smites it way too early, and now Keel takes advantage of that one, but they might take advantage of Jenkins on the other end of a big Magnet Storm, but the rest of the team isn't going in. Yuji's all by himself, and nobody can follow him up. Team Liquid pounce.
Wow, so they steal the Herald and they get the fight. Spyrax, he's got to go.
Oh, he's got to flash over the wall, but he's going to be followed. He's trying to fight back on a Keel. Keel doesn't have cooldowns. He's getting fought back. He's going to go down. Spyrax gets the trade.
That's something, but you still had to ult and flash, and you end up going 1-for-1 in that exchange. I mean, this is still very big for the side of TLC. They walk away with that Herald. They trade up in terms of gold, and now they have an opportunity to knock down that mid-tier 1 turret. Hey, Jenkins, he's too tanky. Even with just this one item, the Unending Despair, he is already able to absorb so much damage in that fight.
It really was. Just the fact that he was the solo focus for the longest time. Niles going to get a little help from Zyko up here, though, and Jenkins able to fight back with Roamer at his back here. 2v2 initiated in topside.
Yeah, Roamer, and they do need to look for a recall if TLC want to go for this next break. Package should be available for Roamer as well. If not now, then very soon.
It should be very close. He had it on the last dragon, so it should be getting up there.
He did drop it right after.
Yeah, I look forward to resets coming through for TLC to get on the other side of the map. We're going to take a look at that scuffle around Rift Herald.
Yeah, and the big thing for me here is that you secure this Herald. You didn't get the Q smite you were hoping for as Yuji, and as soon as that happens, you can see all this focus onto Volibear, and they're committing. They're like, we started this, we have to finish it. The problem is, they aren't actually able to burst him down. So you combine that with the hostile takeover, which was really nice from Kim down. It just makes it an easy kill coming through here.
Yeah, Keel with the triple knockback with the Dragon Rage kick too. Actually insane to stop Maryville from responding to Yuji's engage. Now, he does fall down here, but you'll get those kills over any time because you're able to get a little extra gold in Roamer's pockets. And now,
speaking of,
package at the ready, Dragon up. Maryville, they need to find a fight.
It is the 2-item Roamer as well. Got a lot of damage in his pocket. Oh,
they're going to turn that back
this looks
around.
good.
Package immediately goes in. Valkyrie out. Ooh, Fate Seals goes a little bit wide there from Spyrax. Takes about half his health down. I don't know if Maryville have a fight left here. They don't even have Scary Jerry here, but they're going to try to take a fight onto Jenkins, knowing he doesn't have ulti here. Fate's call goes through, hits onto Yuji.
Nice
That's
ult.
the hostile takeover. Flash play from Kim down as well. Niles getting low, gets kicked back, and he'll just be turned into skin boots.
And this is tough. I mean, Scary Jerry, he's looking to see what he's going to be able to do, but he doesn't have enough damage. Jenkins still has most of his health. I think Maryville, they have to back off. They're playing with fire right now.
This Volley Bear pick is coming in so clutch as just the biggest, meatiest meatball I've ever seen in a spaghetti.
They just have no way to take him down, too. It's so brutal. Even though he was forced to use his ult inopportunely, it still ended up being a very positive play for Team Liquid Challengers. That's their second Drake, halfway to a Cloud Soul. Something that's going to do a lot of work for them in these team fights as well. That move speed is going to matter.
And that's why I was so interested at how this matchup pans out, because Maryville consistently find early leads. But when they don't, it becomes a lot more difficult until they get to the late game. Then they start making some good decisions. But Team Liquid seem to thrive around mid-game decision-making, and they're going to be taking full advantage of that as Jenkins makes it out by the bare skin of his teeth.
Oh, that one feels bad. I'm not sure what he would have been able to do beyond that, but I agree. I think TLC, big thing that's looked so good for them lately is the macro. They play the map really nicely. Even when they are behind, they manage to make good decisions so that they can trade evenly and not actually fall too much further behind. And that's
Just
tough.
don't talk about late game throws. Don't worry about it.
That's not important. No. Shush. And the thing is, too, Maryville, they're this really aggressive, a very aggressive, chaotic style. And I think that first teams who play the map well is what has caused them to lose games. It's why they lost to TLC. It's why they lost to ESG and almost did so a second time just yesterday, Lennon.
Have to bring out the reverse sweep. I know that's weighing on the minds of a lot of these players, right? That is not an easy task to take down, being backs against the walls in a 5-game series. But they definitely want to put their best foot forward here in this next one. Another key factor I think that did go a little bit unnoticed is that we didn't really grit the grub take that we wanted. We got that one scuffle around it. Seal got one, and then nothing else was taken after that. So that is a little bit of an importance when we start thinking about the power taking of both sides.
Yeah, true. Usually, very often in these playoffs, we see 5 to 6 grubs go, even if it's not to one team, just in general, right? Those first 3 grubs always end up going down, and somebody gets a part of those next 2 spawns as well. So now, the tower destroying won't happen as quickly or efficiently as it has in previous series. TLC with 1 grub will have a little bit of an advantage. So that it is going to come down to a lot of fighting, especially around these Drakes. So far, these last 2, Maryville had just had no angle. And while that package is up, Lennon, dragon fights are impossible. So I'm looking for Maryville to try and make plays beforehand. Create yourself some kind of advantage, whether it's numbers, health, whatever the case may be, so that you can actually kind of even out what this package brings to the table.
And the 3 people you're looking at for that are UG, Spyrax, and Scary Jerry. Maybe not in any particular order, but needing engage is of importance for Maryville University, where I feel like it's a lot easier to execute these fights for Team Liquid if they have the package, things like that available. Oh God, Keel, your spider senses are going wrong. You got to go to the shop and get them figured out, but your moves are right on point as he makes his way out there.
See, and that's the exact play that Maryville needs to make. It's tragic that it doesn't end up panning out. You get a play like that, maybe you could look to try and threaten the Baron and get yourselves back into this one. But now, they won't have another opportunity for a little bit. So it's really huge for TLC to avoid that, especially with the Dragon coming up in less than 2 minutes.
Deal with the smooth moves, making it away, but some poke really starting to come the way of Maryville as Roamer has started to come online a little bit here. 2,000 gold lead with a bit of map control for Team Liquid Challengers. There is the Baron up, not either team really in a contentious spot for that one, but we'll contend over the Krugs, I guess, as Keel's going to get Chains of Corruption there. Big Magnet Storm too, but he's just going to hop right over the wall and be safe. And now Roamer actually just gets the engage for Spyrex going wide there too.
Oh,
now
they want him.
Niles is here. Romer's completely caught off guard, and a shutdown goes the way of Spyrex after he baited Romer.
Okay, that's kind of the angle you're looking for here. Probably not in a great position to start the Baron. You can see TLC, they're still pushing forward. They're still trying to get aggressive vision just to make sure TLC, or rather MU, don't get too much from that play. Romer did flash and die, but he will be back in time for this next break.
He wanted to get a little bit more damage, but can't hit the combo there. It's all right. The rest of his team's right behind him. No problem. We've seen so much presence around this top side of the map. And I think now that Drag is going to be coming up at about 30, we'll see everybody head down that way.
Yeah, I think it's important to. You can see TLC, they still maintain a pretty strong vision presence on the top side of the map. And it means that Maryville aren't going to be able to try and trade this soul point for a Baron. Or at least they aren't going to do it without TLC knowing. They can send people over to try and do something about it. Even still, Maryville, they're sending members toward this top side. You can even see Romer angling in that direction as well with the package.
Love the timing that Team Liquid have been on. Again, their macro decisions have been on point even in this first game here. CTP coming in for Maryville. That will be Spyrex coming to join the fight. Jenkins is here. We're looking at a 5-on-5 beatdown, but I think Maryville want to play a little bit with the pressure here. They're going to start up the Baron.
They have to. I mean, they don't know. They don't have vision on this bottom side. They have to just assume Keel is on it, but
Romer
their Baron take isn't very fast. He can go for it.
Romer has a big angle with the package here in these choke points, but he's not going to pull the trigger. He's just going to pressure off Maryville University. They lose a lot of their health bars because of that. Jenkins needs to be a little careful.
Oh.
Okay, Shattering Strike does not hit.
And as long as TLC walk away from this one, they're going to feel pretty good about it. I mean, Maryville, they're posturing. Maybe after this next mid wave, they could look to try and pressure the Baron. Because again, it's not a soul that they're sacrificing. And maybe when they get that indication, they can try and burn this down. Because no package, you kind of like your chances a little better at team fight against Maryville.
They don't have the health bars, though. The Baron is so difficult to take in this season. It does so much AoE damage. They're going to get the redemption down to heal that up. Yuji is looking for a flank.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. They don't see him. They don't see him. Okay, Jenkins will finally man-mark Yuji, and he's just going to take the fight to him. Yuji is not in the pit. Keel has finally arrived. Maryville's plans are starting to fall to pieces here, and here comes the crashing bear. Niles is popping up that dominance. Spyrex finds the backline. They actually do. They get Romer down. That's big damage from Maryville gone. At least now Maryville will push forward on the Team Liquid. It doesn't look like they want to try to fight over the bear. They get what they came for. They took Romer out of the composition.
And this is the kind of fights that Maryville could potentially have when that Corky package isn't available there. It's a good angle, but unfortunately it isn't enough for them to actually try and threaten that Baron. Niles, he's too low. Spyrex is too low, and they don't have teleports to speak of. Oh, no.
Jenkins might have taken the bait here. Niles was waiting for him, but I don't know if Jenkins can. Okay, Spyrex just going to handle the business now. He's going to cut down this bear.
They got him.
He's got support, though.
They got him, right?
Spyrex realizes there's way too many members here. He's trying to fight back on a kill. Niles now going to go in and sacrifice his life. TP coming in, and that's 2 kills for Keel.
Oh, the play goes so bad, Lennon. Now Maryville not only lost their chance at the Baron, but they just handed it to TLC on a silver platter. It's just Scary Jerry Zyko who could potentially have something to say about it. Maybe Yuji goes for a steal, but it's so hard.
2 of the most veteran members on Maryville University falls short in the top lane. It means Team Liquid will take full steam ahead and take this Baron unless Yuji can make a miracle steal happen. They've got Romer over the edge now, though, and Yuji's going to have to back away, too. Meanwhile, Scary Jerry was taking towers at mid lane. Yuji's not going to go down with a nice crash down over the wall. He can't get back over just yet, but he finally will. And there's the rally cry Baron buff for Team Liquid Challengers.
And this is that moment where TLC, they just have complete control of this game. There are still so many structures they're going to be able to knock down and get up this goal with the Baron buff, and they should just have this guaranteed priority for the Drake that's coming up in 2 minutes, 40 seconds. That's their soul. That's a big buff for this team, and it's going to give them everything they need to be able to close down Game 1.
And I want to take a look at the itemization here for Team Liquid as a whole. They have 2 randoms on their team. Spawn and Keel going to be rocking those. But we're on 3 items for a majority of members. Yeah, and I think Spawn has realized, right, he is a secondary damage dealer. The big show is on Romer here.
And it feels good, too, just because the fact is you're dealing with 2... Oh, hold on.
Niles going to slice his dice out of there. We do have Fate's Call used, and the rest of TLC trying to chase him down. They really want some croc meat here. And the UG is right there to dissuade Team Liquid from moving forward. They will take down a third tower, though.
Yeah, so they end up pressuring Niles away. Doesn't cost him his life, but there's more gold into TLC's pocket. As you can see, Jenkins is also pressuring in that mid lane. Spirax is looking to move. We could see an all-in in this side lane here from Maryville to try and turn it around.
Have a nice little defense. Again, one member gets caught. You saw what happened when Roamer got caught in that last fight.
Yeah.
Things can turn around for Maryville, but that's where the ease of execution is so much easier for Team Liquid Challengers.
And that's going to be a tier 2. The second structure coming down from this buff. Spirax.
He misses another Fate Sealed, and he'll go down to the Death Realm for that one. Chains of Corruption goes through. Bailout. It's not going to get you out of that one. Spot goes down with a snipe from Scary Jerry.
Yeah, we got a little happy with that one, but still, it's so much gold picked up. Such a successful Baron buff. Here's the angle.
Under this. Okay, tower is deactivated from Jenkins. They will get the bailout on a kill, but I don't think they can find a kill just yet. He's going down. Now, Maryville, this is the fight you were looking for. They do get the knockup on a Roamer, too. Niles, he's hunting for a big ol' Earth, and he's going to get it. That's a double kill for Scary Jerry.
And this is great timing, too. Look at these spawn timers. 40 seconds on Roamer and Jenkins. I mean, Kim Down is going to die so desynced from everybody else. And that just means this is an easy Drake. Maryville, they buy themselves some time off an overcommitment from TLC. It should get them that first touch at the Drake, and they should be able to deny that Dragon Soul.
They were on the cusp of losing an inhib up there. They were 3,000 gold down. Now they cut that in half. They stop the inhib take, and Maryville shows some signs of life here.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of close. No, okay, Drake spawning immediately. Yeah, I imagine they have the damage to just go ahead and take this one down. And you can see it, the gold lead that you highlighted is a 3K. Now it's just under 1,000. And I think it's going up. I think it's going up again.
They're going to double DP to take down Niles, man. Niles, being in the interviews, must have just put a target on his back. They want his blood, and they get it.
I think it's just good recognition for TLC, though. You have no angle to the Drake, so they're just going to go ahead and secure it. And we're going to start really early back on this play. But what really matters here is attempting to actually try and finish this turret, getting really aggressive. As soon as you lose spawn, doing anything other than trying to poke and letting the minions do the work is a mistake. And you can see it. Niles, he gets in there. He does so much work, even with the tower shut off. The damage from Scary Jerry coming through and Niles doing so much work, it was enough.
And the fact that they get the little mini knockup on a Roamer there, even after he burns his flash. Now we get back to it. Look at the vision state of the map. Maryville have a lot of vision around bot side. They obviously just secured that dragon, but it is back to a state of the game where Maryville are going to be looking for picks, and Team Liquid Challengers, they need to hold on.
Right, I still think TLC are in a pretty solid position. My eyes now are on the Baron that's going to be up in a minute and 45 seconds. That is likely going to be Maryville's next target, because that is something they need to be able to actually fully turn this game around, because we're getting to a point where one good team fight, if you have Baron buff, could end up winning you the game. If you go to an objective fight where Rover has that package, I still think it's really difficult for Maryville to actually come out on top.
Yeah, he's got 4 items now as well, but I do want to sing a little bit of praise towards Scary Jerry. He's on 3.5 items now as well. Spirax getting very close to being a very scary menace, but Team Liquid want to put a halt to that. Here comes the Dominus, empowered Niles. Yuji going in with the Magnet Sword. They already find kill. This is a big fight from Maryville. They are going to force the hand of Team Liquid. There's that Fate Seal, and it hits right on the mark that time. Maryville have found their strength. They wake up from the grave, and they punch Team Liquid into the dirt.
And that's such a big clutch fight coming through from Maryville. You take down the jungler, now they're going to be able to heal base. It's not enough to end the game, but they finally swung the gold into their favor. And they should be able to threaten this bottom inhibitor. I don't think Jenkins can do anything about it.
It's really difficult. And again, I was just singing a little bit of praise of this build for Scary Jerry. He is going to melt these turrets super fast. And you see a response in the mirrored kind for Maryville, but this time they will strike where Team Liquid couldn't, and they'll take the inhib.
And that's huge. That's going to get you the bot lane auto-pushing, which is a great setup for the Drake, but here's the angle too. It looks good. You think Kim Down is caught, but it's Keel who actually goes in a little too far. They're able to CC him to death. Look at him. Look at this Lee Sin. He hasn't been able to move the entire time. And as soon as that happens, this fight has become really split. Spyrax gets the angle that we were hoping for all game since he locked into Sione. And as soon as you lose two people like Romer and Keel, this fight's just not playable anymore.
Spyrax flashing for the kill at the end.
Just
I
to be
love that
sure.
little mental advantage there. But I think the biggest thing is, and pun intended here, Keel's going to be kicking himself for that one. There's not a world where Yuji doesn't crash down back while he's on the horse after he gets kicked, right? And I think that situation, Keel was just looking desperately for something.
Right, and it's definitely, but could be feeling a bit of the pressure there. I still think TLC are in a pretty solid position.
Oh, yeah.
But it's tough now. They're down almost 1,000 gold. They lost another Drake. No, excuse me. The Drake hasn't actually come up yet. The TLC, this is still their soul that they're playing for amid its time. And Romer still has that package he's holding on to. So that's still going to be the big win condition here. But if TLC keep over-aggressing, this could be a very different game.
Oh, Kim Down. He's going to get the Fade's Call used. So it's a pretty big ultimate, going to be down and out of the count. Now, Maryville, they have 4 items on Scary Jerry. They're looking at a 4th for Spyrax. They can burn things down quickly, but you see Romer's damage starting to pop through here.
You said it, 4-item Corki. The poke is really strong. Romer's backing.
It should be. I think package is going to be coming up soon because last time he grabbed it 22 minutes or 22 seconds before the dragon, but he has to TP back.
Yeah, so they know this is actually, so this is so tough. Maryville doing this put TLC in such a difficult position. All they had to do was threaten the Baron to get Romer to come back with the package. Now, guess what, Lennon? They're going to walk away. They're going to walk for this Drake that's coming up really soon. And that big team fight advantage that's been so huge for TLC this game, not available anymore.
Kim Down was going to back, but he has no way of getting to the fight, and he sees that Maryville are surrounding them. Team Liquid, they need an engage. They need to use this package at least before the dragon fight or during. Spyrax going to get missed there. He does move through. Maryville will have pole position right now in front of the dragon pit. Okay,
they're very interesting ult from Spyrax. That might hamper Maryville's ability to team fight just a little bit there, but you know, they still have a good chance. There's no package.
It's a very awkward positioning for Maryville, but they realize they need to just pull the trigger.
There it is.
Yuji just goes in. Spyrax with the combo too. The bailout's not going to be there for Romer, and he is down. Now Scary Jerry flashing over the wall. He'll take Kill face to face, and Spawn does end up getting away, but maybe not for much longer as Maryville want to chase him down. It's really the end that they're looking for. Maryville have jumped from strength to strength, and they're looking to strength up in game number 1 here. The Nexus Tower 1 will fall. Another one should join after. Jenkins, your only saving grace for Team Liquid in game number 1, and I don't think he's got the gas in the tank here. He may have that dog in him, but not here today. And game 1 will turn its head and be Maryville favored.
And Maryville are going to strike first in the lower finals, Lennon. They've taken the first step to locking their ticket to the Riot Games arena in a game where they were behind throughout most of it. Just the last 5-10 minutes did they actually swing the gold back in their favor.
Actually insane. Team Liquid felt so far in control so much of that game. We're going to take a look back at that last fight. The decision making and the team play. That's what I need you to watch.
And it's so tough too. Again, big disadvantage for TLC. They didn't quite have the Porky package because it had just expired, as you saw on screen. And that means that it was a pretty good angle here for Maryville to be able to get this team fight in. It's the coordination, a big wombo combo from the mid-jungle of Maryville University. The big duo that helped turn this roster around this year to secure what was the last team fight.
And that's a little glimpse at why I voted for Yuji to be our MVP here this year. I think that this guy has been insane. He has not had the biggest, brightest game on the rel, but literally one flash crash down engage wins them the game. And that is the kind of difference that you need from a player like this. And he's already represented in game number 1. We'll see if Team Liquid can bounce back after a tough game 1 loss. And we'll be back after a short break.
Introducing the new foot-long sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious foot-long cookie, foot-long pretzel, or foot-long churro.
Now winning wouldn't mean just as much without second place. Announcing our second all-pro team, they are...
Look at Kenby finding an ulti on the quad. Array dishing out tons of DPS. He flashes out of the Nexus towers to take quad down. Sturdy's burning. He uses the ram stand to try to escape, but Faisal's cooking him just like Supernova's cooking in this game too. Oh my god.
Perry did not stick with the team, and he will get punished for it. Young tries to save his jungler's life, and now he gets punished for it. Good knockup with a follow-up from Kenby. Oh, the Hwei ultimate's not going to be enough. As he lands another Sonic Wave, Kenby just cannot miss these. Chasing that boom flash forward, boom. Strike will pick up that kill. Now back in here on to Manu.
Wow.
Array gets that credit. 10-5, double the kills to Supernova.
And now Zyko actually does go for it. Spyrax on the other side. He has such a good pop blossom angle. And now they're locked in here. Spyrax just needs to pull the trigger. And there he goes. 3-man pop-up. And that's the ulti. Make it rain, baby. And there's the wombo combo you were dreaming of.
Doesn't matter if you don't believe in them, they believe in themselves, and Onat goes forward. The charm is there, the damage is found in AoE. They've done it. They've done it. Asserti fights for his life. His life
Wait,
is
have they? Have they?
forfeit. And now Sajed, one last attempt. Samuto survives. They will cast stones at giants and watch them fall. The damage is area of effect.
Oh no, I think they...
But FlyQuest refused to be the fallen. As well as Shochi, who's ramping up at the attack speed. Supernova feel they can go straight for this dragon. Heal out of position, gets caught out. Final spark, gonna meet. Roamer gets caught as well. Wrong spot to be, and just like that, Supernova grabbed 2 unanswered kills.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long. Or a churro, and probably not a pretzel either. They also said, under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. To which we said, but we already made them. And they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.